Hello water signs, this is your reading for the next 7 days. I'm going to be starting with Scorpio because Scorpio came through in the dice, and then Cancer, and then Pisces. So on the dice we have the 5th house, which is usually a very fortunate house. It can speak of children. I think that's quite specific for Scorpio, but it can also be gambling. I'm seeing there might be some gambling here as well. It's usually a very creative house, a fun house. It's a house of romance and yeah, you know, hobbies. It's fun stuff. It's usually a pretty easy house to navigate. We do have Mars in Scorpio, which can be passion, but it can also be anger. There's a lot of depth comes through with Scorpio. Can suggest it can be someone who's very sexually confident, someone who's looking to have their needs met in that department. It can be about vindictiveness and grudges as well. Now, Scorpio, you have got the archetype of the child eternal that you're working with this week. So this can be a child, a family member, but it can just speak of someone who's, you know, very determined to stay youthful, you know, mind, body and spirit. So it doesn't specifically need to be a child. I sort of think it might be, because I do have the tree card here and the storks, and that to me is a combination of birth and pregnancy. So there may be something, or there may be some news, or, you know, I feel it's just maybe an addition to the family in some way. This could be a very confident child with the skunk spirit here. This can be someone who's very enthusiastic, someone who takes a lot of pride in their accomplishments, in their appearance. It just feels incredibly confident, like a very, very confident child. So it doesn't need to be a young child, as I say. It can be a much older child, or this can be an adult who's just got a very youthful spirit. It's very determined to remain youthful. And as I say, we have some sort of, you know, pregnancy news here, or the news of a birth, or there's some positive changes, or even a positive addition to the family in relation to children. The 5 of Cups being in reverse is sort of saying we're coming out of a period of sadness, regret, maybe confusion here. There has been some manipulation and lies that I think someone is coming to terms with. They may be responsible for it, or they may be the recipient of it, because the fox speaks of lies or manipulation or some sort of selfishness, and there's kind of risky behavior here. There may have been it may be specifically related to gambling, because it is the 5th house here, and it's created, you know, trouble, confusion, disturbance, possibly even depression here. I feel with this combination, and I do think the last week's reading was very much focused on this, I feel there might be someone coming out of that. The Hangman is in reverse, but the Hangman can also be very selfish, because he's an energy that can't see anyone else's point of view here. There is official communication coming through here with the letter and the Tower. This can be any sort of, you know, letter from the government, letter from a big company. It can be any sort of any communication. It can be news about legal matters, or, you know, I'm not saying it's a verdict as such, but there is some sort of communication. That communication might allow someone to sort of move out of a period of stagnancy. I mean, it could be, you know, like, say someone has been audited, for example, and it's all been incredibly stressful and worrying. They may have taken a little bit of a dicey gamble with, you know, what they've done in that department. They may even have outright lied. And they, you know, could have been stuck here waiting on this official communication, because this communication is either in connection with the Queen of Wands, or it's coming from the Queen of Wands with the fish. So there's financial news involved here. It could be someone who's waiting on a house sale completing, or the purchase of a property completing here. Money may have been locked up, or, you know, kind of, yeah, locked it down with the coffin card here, in connection with property. But it can also suggest that something is ending here in regards to a family member. With the home card here, that would be the King of Hearts, who could be a Scorpio. It can also speak of financial misfortune that someone has been dealing with, and that would be due to perhaps some sort of gambling issue here. But this feels like things are changing, you know. If this is your story, things are changing with the 5 of Cups being in reverse. This is someone who's no longer kind of like, you know, stuck regretful and sad. That, you know, I'm not saying they're like bouncing happy here, but I feel there's some positivity coming through, and it's via this child energy. But it may also be, as I say, not a child, but someone who's just young, playful, is kind of possibly able to return to a state of, you know, happiness, really, because there is something wrapping up here. The Coffin is not a good card. It really isn't. Not next to the Fish, because it can speak of bankruptcy and foreclosure with regards to property. But I feel with the, let me just see, with the characters being upright here, the Queen of Wands and the Child Eternal, that there is still a lot of positivity here. So I'm struggling to see it as cut and dried as, you know, or good or bad. I just feel that things are kind of like slowly coming out of something that's been very difficult and a contracted period. So let me see, tell me more about the letter and the Tower for Scorpio. The letter and the Tower for Scorpio. Seven of Swords in reverse here. So the fox is a liar. You know, there's definitely been some sort of lying or manipulation or tricky energy here. It can't even speak about a theft. This will be about somebody who's getting caught, if that were the case. The Seven of Swords is usually maybe coming clean, sometimes a confession, but it's usually just someone's getting caught out, having taken something, having stolen something. Eight of Swords. It literally could be someone who's like, you know, going to prison. That could be like the official news. And this would be someone who's selfish, you know, gambles. And it is something that is hidden from, you know, another party in the equation here. Someone's not able to see this yet. And it may just be that it's not happened yet, but I think there's stuff going on kind of behind the scenes. Temperance, that's nice. Sun in reverse. This is about things being brought into balance here. There's been patience. This is something that's maybe taken some time. At least someone here has exercised some sort of moderation and patience. I just feel something is changing. If there has been, you know, lies or manipulation or any sort of thieving, that feels like it's going to be exposed, and that is freeing for someone. So let's look at the Queen of Wands with the Fish. Queen of Wands with the Fish. Nine of Cups. This is a celebration. This is a card of feasting. I think someone has had to defend themselves here. I just feel this feels like somebody who's like getting to wrap something up, and they can now sort of enjoy the fruits of their labor, so to speak, because the Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment card. It's a card of satisfaction. Someone's very satisfied here. The Skunk Spirit is a very satisfied energy, confident indeed. It's almost like somebody's just had to, you know, go through this process, but always expecting a positive outcome because they're in the right. And it may be that, you know, this could be a divorce, for example, and this is, you know, trying to get a property sold and a division of assets here. Making sure somebody is declared bankrupt so you can get your money back from them. Let me see the Fish. The Fish. Queen of Swords in reverse. Often get these two in a combination. There's the Queen of Wands in the upright there. The Queen of Swords in reverse is someone who can be a liar. She can be cruel and cold. She's certainly out of her own energy here. She's someone who can be struggling financially. Coffin for the Queen of Swords. They're obviously connected to feminine energies here. Ace of Cups reversed. Coffin and the House. Coffin in the House for Scorpio. So we've got full energy, getting a new beginning. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's a big cycle wrapping up here with the World and the Fool card. The Four of Pentacles. Someone's been waiting for this. Someone's been counting their pennies, saving for whatever this is. And it is something that is ending. It is some sort of business transaction, more than likely involving property, maybe an estate, with the coffin being here. And the Queen of Wands, whoever she may be, is the person who's celebrating. The Queen of Swords, not so much. She's someone who's still emotionally attached to whatever this is. But the ultimate outcome is this cycle is wrapped up. There is reason to celebrate. There is a brand new beginning. And someone has some, you know, money put away for a rainy day that they're probably now going to enjoy spending. It's likely to be the Queen of Wands. Judgment. She's been working on something for quite some time here. Maybe working on exposing some wrongdoing in the past. But this legal news is coming through this week. And someone gets to wrap it up and celebrate. And there is, like, you know, justified pride in whatever someone has been through here. It may be with regards to, you know, children, custody, maintenance, that sort of thing. Because the Queen of Wands could be the mother. There is justified pride in this. It's an achievement, really. So let's have a look, Scorpio. Advice for the Scorpio reading. Advice for the Scorpio reading. Advice for Scorpio. The Spirit Fox. You get two foxes here. Now this is saying something is going to change, and it's going to change for the better with the Sun, because this is success and happiness. Things are most definitely changing. The stork is coming through saying things are changing with children, things are changing with money, things are changing with property, things are changing within the family. They're ultimately positive changes. You need to be sharp when the fox is around. You need to get ready to act. There is most definitely, you know, a secretive, manipulative, lying energy here. I don't think it's something that you're not aware of. I think whoever I'm reading for is well aware of it, and is on top of it, and in terms of, you know, exposing it and wrapping it up to a positive outcome. And next up we have Cancer. So Cancer, you have got the Rebel with Flamingo in reverse here. It is in the upright, so it's more than likely on the lighter attributes of this archetype. This is speaking about, you know, it can be an anarchist, a political protester, is someone who, you know, likes to break the mold and affect social change, you know, or even just sometimes a rebel without a cause here. But it's very much someone who goes their own way. Now, I'm saying that we do have the Flamingo Spirit in reverse, which is speaking as somebody's a wee bit kind of nervous or a bit wobbly. It's normally like, you know, stuck between a place, the in-between. My God, I can't speak today. One leg up, one leg down, hasn't actually taken the step to where they want to be. So it might be somebody who's moving a wee bit too quickly. It may be someone who's, you know, anxious about the future or nostalgic about the past. So it's telling you that you need to be still kind of for the time being, because the next step that you're supposed to take will be easily recognizable when it appears. But there may be, with this rebel energy, a sort of desire to kind of, like, you know, break loose and maybe even jump the gun a wee bit, because there's somebody who wants to make some moves here. This is a transition card. It speaks of, you know, obviously movement, moving away from, you know, something that's strenuous or difficult or, you know, unpleasant. It's wanting to move to a place of peace here. And I just feel the timing's kind of off, Cancer, because this is delays. I don't think it's procrastination. I think there are literally delays in terms of travel, in terms of moving where you want. Now, this may be to do with restrictions. There may be a place you want to go to. Or you want to relocate. It's saying that the time is not quite right and you're kind of stuck in the in-betweeny, and you might just want to, you know, spark out and do your own thing. But it's kind of saying to me, you need to be patient. The Queen of Cups, this is obviously your own energy here, but she's usually very intuitive, kindly, patient. I think you need to exercise some patience here in terms of what you're hoping to achieve. It just feels that it's not maybe the right time, but let's see. Cancer. Tell me more about the Rebel with the Flamingo Spirit for Cancer. The Rebel. And of course that's a lot. I'm not taking all them. Take the Child. The Rebel with the Flamingo Spirit for Cancer. Right, this is, I mean, obviously we can be speaking about a child or children again here, but it's a new beginning, and this would be like a new job. This is somebody who wants to bring, or, you know, maybe make a move, but ultimately it's in terms of bringing stability into their life. It can be a brand new livelihood here. It's like somebody who wants to, like, you know, put roots down, get settled. It's the feminine energy here. And I think it's to do with, you know, maybe where you live or where you work. So you're kind of in between. Tell us about the Six of Swords. Again, Six of Swords for Cancer. This is a manipulative man. This is a liar. It's a trickster. It can speak of self-employment. Somebody may want to become self-employed, and they're currently employed, which would be what the Anchor card is. And that's maybe what someone's desire is, to just, you know, go off and do it alone. And yet it feels that would definitely be a risk. There's just a feeling that it's just not the time to do that, if that's the case with the... things are complicated when the snake comes through. It's also speaking of jealousy and betrayal and infidelity. And that may be a person that somebody wants to move away from. Someone wants to have a new beginning elsewhere. Let me see who this is. Show me the Man and the Fox for Cancer. He's a beggar in reverse. He's a dependence on others to the exclusion of effort, and a martyr. Martyr was at the base of the deck for all the water signs this week. So this is someone who's, you know, self-pitying, feels sorry for themselves. Show me this Man with the Fox for Cancer. The Man with the Fox for Cancer. This is someone who does have a vision of the future. This is someone who does have, a conceived idea of where they want to go. But in some way, I mean, it may be called for. It may be a very selfish move. That might be how they're being considered. And maybe this move that somebody is wanting to make that's ultimately delayed, it is stuck here, it's tricky. But tricky in that it becomes with some sort of, like, you know, lie. They're not being, you know, this person's not being truly honest about where they want to go. I don't know if there's grounds for that. This is someone who's needy, and they see bigger prospects elsewhere. Okay, let me see the Three of Wands reverse. Why is the Three of Wands reverse here? Okay, we definitely have some sort of, you know, this is positive change. This is somebody who wants to, you know, maybe, relocate, immigrate. But again, the child and the stork together does speak about pregnancies and births. But I feel that somebody wants to fly. Yep, lucky. This can be a lucky child. It's a lucky move. Somebody wants to maybe flee the nest, but somebody just wants to move. That may be an act that's considered rebellious, depending on what they're moving away from. This is somebody who may want to move towards the Queen of Cups, being the Cancer that I'm reading for here. And they may be stuck somewhere because of children. They may have children with someone else, and that's keeping them stuck. And they're having to lie about their movements. Show me the Queen of Cups for Cancer. There's the Man. Now, there can be two men here. Queen of Cups. This is an invitation from a man to the Queen of Cups. It's some sort of gift, surprise, it's pleasure, it's beauty. It's someone who's being admired. Someone who's attractive. Again, it can speak of children. It's a sort of face card. Yeah, this is a hope. This is a wish. This is a dream for someone. They're kind of guided to go in that direction towards a mother, or towards their own independence, or to get some sort of promotion, because the fox would be the employee and the bear is, you know, the manager. Someone is looking to elevate themselves. They're looking for that lucky break. But right now, this is someone who's kind of stuck. Maybe due to children, or it's just the timing isn't right, or there are delays in terms of restrictions on travel. This is someone who has a wish, a hope, a desire to make an invitation, a gift, who sees happiness and pleasure with the Queen of Cups. So I just want to find out a wee bit more about the fox. What's the fox? This is impatience. Somebody is literally impatient, waiting for their happy, which they don't have. They don't have it yet. they're just not able to make these moves. There's passion. There's a desire to move. There's almost like a little bit of excitement that comes through when they think they can make the move. But as yet, Cancer, this is not happening. Not this week anyway. It's only a weekly reading. Let me take some advice. Cancer's advice. Summer. Now, that really could be a timeline indicator. Obviously, depends where you are. But bask in joy and light is obviously a card of happiness. But in the meantime, someone is starting dealing with their karma. The Elder is about karma. Ancestral karma. It is asking that you move beyond whatever limitations have been set on you by family members, past and present. That's what's creating the snare up here. And it may be that someone is just, you know, continually repeating the same patterns here. And then we've got winter, summer and winter. There might be just like two windows of opportunity here, but this card is very much about taking care of your own needs first. And it's also saying that it's okay to be alone. You know, you don't need to always run with the pack here. Okay, and last but not least, we have Pisces. So Pisces, you have got the monk, the nun, and the seahorse spirit. So this can be, again, it is in its upright. I do genuinely feel that this is more on its light side. This is someone who's possibly celibate, very devoted to their path, very spiritual, very religious. It can be overly pious sometimes, but I'm thinking this is an energy of this week of someone who's very much keeping themselves to themselves and not engaging with any drama. And that's who the seahorse spirit is. He just sits and he watches and floats in the water. And he doesn't make any moves, because I think what you're witnessing here is maybe something that you just don't want to get involved in here. This is almost someone who's trying to keep their karma tidy and clean. And I think this will be something that if you get involved with, you just know it's going to be messy. I'm getting a feeling of silence from this as well. Like, you know, maybe if there is someone who's trying to communicate with you this week, you're not going to communicate with them. This can be your energy or whoever you're dealing with, but the King of Swords is in reverse. It can be a liar, a cruel person. I've already had the Queen of Swords in reverse, so air signs look to be in reverse this week. He's someone who's not thinking straight. It can also be a professional that is, maybe a little bit corrupt or a bit bent. So we've got the Ten of Wands reverse. There's something wrapping up here, but it is about dropping weight, dropping guilt, dropping burdens. And Temperance in reverse. There's chaos here. It's chaos. There's impatience, imbalance, excess in some way. And my Pisces that I'm reading for here is almost kind of witnessing this, or choosing not to witness it at all, but is intuitively aware that that is what's happening. So let's have a look. Tell us about the monk, nun, and seahorse spirit for Pisces. Oh God, I mean, look, mess, chaos, arguments, fighting, abuse. Keep seeing that this was, something to do with kids this week. Kids in the church or kids in abusive situations. But this can be something that comes back round again. This is like repetitive behaviour. This may be someone that, that you deal with regularly. It may even be your partner. It could be your boss. And this is like trying to remain really zen and trying to see the positives in the negatives, when really what you're kind of looking at is all just a bit negative. Stuck. This can be a very strenuous job that someone is doing, physically hard. It can also be conflicts about work or in the workplace. Show me who the King of Swords is. He's a gossip. King of Swords. Queen. And the Hero. And the Goddess. Like, that's a hell of a lot of feminine energy for a King of Swords. King of Swords with the Queen. King of Swords with the Hero. This is someone who doesn't feel worthy of another person, but at the same time feel entitled to them. And deep down, this is someone who's not worthy or feels not worthy. But there is love coming through here. Love of the mother of the children, and grandmother. Yeah, that is basically it. This is someone who is, could be a bit of an escapist. This is someone who, you know, has a false sense of heroism. Because deep down there's somebody who does not feel worthy. Doesn't have confidence. Doesn't believe in themselves. Or doesn't have faith in others. And yet it's also someone who's greedy. Vain. Indulgent. So this might be who you're dealing with. Give me the King of Swords. He's secretive. King of Swords reversed for Pisces. King of Swords reversed for Pisces. Dominant. Powerful. Bossy. There's something to do with kids here. This can literally be your boss, you know. This can speak of a big promotion, a big change. It can speak to positive changes with regards to money. It can also be someone who's very protective, but it's almost like a false sense of protectionism. I don't really know, because they're in reverse. They're not thinking straight. Is this someone who's troubled by love? They may want to, you know, elevate their love life. They may want to see big positive changes here. But this vanity. I'm not taking them because they came out as a clump in the last one. Vanity. There's aloofness, there's coldness. Vanity. Why is the King of Swords getting vanity with self-worth? And it's probably something ended with the feminine here. But this is someone who is dealing with some sort of stress or losses, maybe even a theft. This is someone who's worrying about time, how long something is taking. I don't know specifically why. Tell me about the Ten of Wands reversed. This is trouble, man. Confusion, depression, suspicion, weight, don't know what's going on. Can be abusive as well. Ten of Wands. This is what's getting dropped. Oh, lordy. A message, an announcement. Might be lucky, but it's also heavy. This is gambling news as well. Can speak of news of a small win. This is karma. This is like, you know, life lessons, weights. I do feel there's some sort of message here that is going to, is trying to lift that weight. There is an attempt to make some sort of connection here to drop this weight. It may even be guilt. Temperance reversed. We've got money, the imbalance, the intemperance, the chaos is around money, with a female. This can be a businesswoman. I've got two men here again. This is like some sort of financial meeting here. So this is like, you know, if you're going through a divorce and you get in a room with your soon-to-be ex-partner and you have to have that kind of conversation here. But it's one that sort of, you know, descends into chaos because you can't agree. You can't balance things out. The King of Swords is greedy and, you know, entitled. I don't know who the female is. Let me see. The female in the Pisces reading. She's father in reverse. Not funny, he's getting she's getting the father. This is someone who's dealing with, you know, possible dictatorial control. It's more than likely coming from the father or the King of Swords. This is someone who abuses their authority and she's a bit, you know, waiting for things to get fixed. So she's reaching out to the judge and an advocate. She's probably putting some distance between her and whoever this other person is here. That's where this, you know, monk and nun comes in, not getting involved in the drama, taking a bit of a backseat. This somebody's aware of everything that's going on, but they don't really want to touch it. So they're using, you know, their professional contacts to deal with the situation. They're using their solicitor, their barrister, the judge, but they're not actually going to be in the thick of it here. Because whoever they're dealing with over here, I don't think they can get on the same page with them. It's something that probably always repeats. It's always going to descend into some sort of argument, maybe even, you know, violence. So this is someone who is, you know, using their professional contacts, who they've employed to act on their behalf, to sort out this, you know, issue around money. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That's it. Advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces. The Medicine Mother. Honor your inner knowing. And yeah, Hermit. The Hermit is because of peace. This is somebody's hermiting away and, you know, making sure that their mental health is #1 priority. It's someone who doesn't want to fight, and yet they're dealing with someone who's, you know, that's really probably all they fucking do. They're really good at it. So Mother knows best. Maybe, you know, a feminine in your life here, but it can come through when there is some sort of, you know, medicine or medical issue that needs attended to. I really do feel that what needs attended to is someone's need to retreat and recharge and find a centered place of zen away from the drama. You know, just employ who you need to, write a letter, send an email, make a phone call, and then you go silent for, you know, the rest of the day or the rest of the week, because I don't see there's any point in getting in a room with whoever this person is. Okay, that's your reading, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.